everyone, it is Miss Steller here. Today I'm going to do a demonstration on how to do watercolors, and we're going to learn 3 different techniques. We have regular watercolor, wet on wet, and dry brush. So these are the supplies that you will need. You will need a container of water, you will need a paintbrush. There are specific watercolor paintbrushes, but I don't have any here at home, so I am just using one that I use for all kind of painting, and I like the flat edge. That's my favorite. You also need paper towels and a watercolor set. They are not very expensive. You can kind of get whatever you need. Mine is just a basic Crayola one, and I love the colors, so that's what I like to use. And then I have watercolor paper, though any paper is fine, but you'll see the difference between how mine soaks up the color and how yours will. So first, let's start with regular watercolor. That is kind of the watercolor that you've always done. So we put our brush in the water, we have wet paint, and we just go. You can see that the more paint you have, the darker it is. The more water you have, the lighter it is. The thing with watercolor is you have to have a lot of patience. We need to let this completely dry before we add anything else to it. But do you see how that is a really nice value scale of dark to light just based upon the amount of paint and water we have? It's really cool. Now, wet on wet is the next technique. So you just beat your paintbrush in the bottom of your cup, wipe on your paper towel. And wet on wet is where you start with just plain water. So you just have water and make a shape on your paper. Then you get your color and you plop. Just plop your color. This one's my favorite. I just think it looks so beautiful. You can get another color and you can just blend them together. And then you can kind of push the color around, especially if you're doing more of an organic shape. This looks a little more natural. The last one is dry brush, and it's kind of self-explanatory. You have a dry brush, so I wipe it on my paper towel. Might even straighten it out a little bit. And then you have wet paint. So dry brush, wet paint. And then you can see that this is a lot more controlled. Can also do a lot more angular and a lot more geometric shapes. It's also a lot darker because there's limited water on your brush. So I hope that you can practice those, and my next demonstration will be for our watercolor agate. I can't wait to see what you create.